So the easiest way to jump into Mirage is to understand the arcs that are happening because throughout basically the entirety of Mirage, but especially the formative years, Turtle Mania was becoming a thing, and this thing exploded into popularity. And these guys were off running the business for part of it. Other creators were coming in. You've got a whole volume that is no longer considered canon and an unfinished ending. But within all of that is, dare I say, a rich continuity, one of the richest that TMNT has to offer. And the easiest way to navigate that is to approach it from the standpoint of this is the story that they're telling now, and then this is the story that they're telling now. I think you'll find the easiest path forward for stringing together the continuity. And it all starts with Volume 1, Issue 1. If you want the Mirage Turtles in the purest, rawest form, it starts here. Issue 1 opens like a street level crime book, not a Saturday morning cartoon. We are in New York City in an alley at night, and a gang of armed thugs just jump somebody. Before the cops can even make sense of what's happening, four shadowy figures hit them with a coordinated ambush. They move fast, they're disciplined, and they fight like they've been training for this their entire lives. The thugs, they're outclassed. The police arrive, and the four attackers vanish into the darkness and disappear into the sewers below. Down in the sewer, you get your first real home base vibe for the series. The four are not just fighters, they're brothers. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. They report back to their teacher and father figure, Master Splinter, and Splinter doesn't congratulate them like a coach after a hard-fought win. He tells them that they're ready for the truth. He says they are finally ready to learn what their mission actually is: retribution. And then Splinter tells them their origin for the first time. Splinter explains that he was once the pet rat of a man named Hamato Yoshi, described as one of the greatest shadow warriors of his clan, the Foot. Splinter watched Yoshi practice constantly, and over time, the rat began to mimic the movements, not metaphorically, literally. Splinter copies what he sees so thoroughly that he becomes skilled in the same art as his owner. Yoshi's life becomes defined by a rivalry with another member of the Foot, Oroku Nagi. They compete in everything, and then it turns personal. Both fall in love with a woman named Tang Shen, but she loves Yoshi, not Nagi. Nagi can't handle that, and one night he confronts Tang Shen at her home and demands that she choose him. When she refuses, he attacks. Yoshi arrives in time to see it, and in a rage, he kills Oroku Nagi. That's a turning point, because within the Foot, one member killing another is a grave dishonor. Yoshi has two options: ritually forfeiting his life to reclaim honor, or exile, and he chooses exile. So Yoshi flees to New York City with Tang Shen, Splinter, and what little they can carry. In New York, Yoshi starts a martial arts school and lives quietly for years. But the past doesn't stay buried. Back in Japan, Oroku Nagi's brother, Oroku Saki, swears vengeance. That vow shapes his entire life. He becomes a top ninja in the Foot, and eventually the clan sends him to New York to lead their branch there. Saki treats it like destiny. He builds the Foot presence in New York into a criminal empire, tied to things like smuggling, arms running, and assassination. But all of it is still secondary to his real goal: finding Hamato Yoshi. When Saki finally tracks Yoshi and Tang Shen down, he moves while Yoshi is away. He breaks into their apartment and murders Tang Shen. Then he waits for Yoshi to come home. Yoshi walks in, sees Tang Shen dead, and sees Oroku Saki standing there. Saki declares himself the Shredder. A brutal fight follows, and during the struggle, Splinter's cage breaks, freeing him. But Yoshi is older now, and Saki is in his prime. The Shredder wins. Hamato Yoshi is killed. Splinter escapes into the alleys. He survives by scavenging. He's alone. He's grieving, and he's feral. Until the incident. One day, a truck from TCRI passes by. A canister falls from the vehicle and strikes a young man in the head. Maybe he's Daredevil, maybe he's not. The canister bounces into a boy's aquarium full of turtles. The glass shatters. The canister and the turtles tumble down through an open manhole into the sewer. The canister contains a strange chemical, and it breaks open in the sewer, bathing the turtles in a glowing ooze. Splinter finds them. He's curious. He gathers the turtles in a coffee can and cleans the ooze off as best he can. And then the change begins. Splinter and the turtles start mutating, becoming more human-like with every passing day. Eventually, the turtles can speak. This is where Splinter stops being only a survivor and becomes something else: a planner. He decides that if he can't avenge Hamato Yoshi himself, he will raise the instruments of vengeance. So he trains the turtles in ninjutsu, the same art he learned by mimicking Yoshi long ago. And he names them after Renaissance artists, names he finds in a discarded book in the sewer. Now, with the origin finally out of the way, Splinter's mission becomes the brothers' mission. They will avenge Hamato Yoshi. They will face Oroku Saki. They will kill the Shredder in honorable combat. Raph is the one who takes initiative. He goes out on a solo mission to deliver a message directly to Oroku Saki. And it's not polite. It's provocation. The message is simple. Meet us on the rooftops. Duel to the death in the name of honor. Saki accepts, but he doesn't come alone. He arrives with foot ninjas in tow, turning the honorable duel into a full-blown rooftop fight. The fight erupts, 4 brothers against a force of trained killers. But the turtles are better than the foot expects. They overwhelm the ninjas. They push through the numbers and the chaos until the only thing left is Saki himself. Now, the Shredder steps in. It's close. He's dangerous. He's not just a crime boss. He is a lethal warrior who already killed their father's master. But the turtles fight as a unit. They use teamwork, and that becomes the difference. They defeat Oroku Saki, and then they demand something specific. They tell him to commit seppuku, to regain honor after murdering Hamato Yoshi. And Saki refuses. Instead, he reveals he's been holding a thermite grenade, and he makes it clear if he's going to die, he'll take them with him. In an instant, before that choice becomes reality, Donatello throws his bow staff into Saki's jaw, knocking the Shredder off balance and sending both Saki and the grenade over the edge of the roof. The turtles rush to the ledge and look down just as the grenade explodes in a blinding flash. The brothers have done what Splinter trained them to do. They have completed the mission. Or have they? That lingering question is part of the tone of Mirage from the jump. It's not a clean victory lap. It's grim. It's violent. And it's slightly ominous, like the world does not hand you neat endings.